And now we'll move on to the fourth section. That's the recent development. As you all know that we began talking about international broadcasting, shortwave broadcasting, and the transformation of RTI. And of course, recently, with modern technologies, everything has changed. So we'll be talking about the rise of social media and internet and how podcast has been very popular recently. Now, in view of all these rapidly advancing media conversions, DW, the German broadcaster, in 2008 started to merge its radio and online departments into multimedia editorial teams. The same happens to RTI, even though we do not merge them, but we also launch our multimedia platforms, and we'll be talking about that later on. This is because we need to keep up with the times. So you might be asking, with the rise of social media and internet and with app and podcasts, what happens to major shortwave radio stations in the world? We'll take a few examples. For example, DW. In 1998, DW, I would say, one of the first of so many shortwave broadcasters, they stopped shortwave broadcasting in Danish, in Norwegian, in Dutch, and Italian. So as you know, that all these languages are in the West. But at the end of 1999, they also ceased the broadcasts in Japanese, which is a language in the East, Slovak, Spanish, the Czech, and Hungarian. This is because of the budget cuts by the federal government in Germany. So the German language shortwave broadcast also finally came to an end in 2011. So after that, there were not that many shortwave broadcasts by DW. Now, the same thing with BBC. BBC, the world service on shortwave broadcasting has been reduced since 2001. Now, they also stopped broadcasting to Europe in 2008. Now, they shut down the transmitters in Thailand in 2017, which means that they end all the relays from Thailand. We talked about the transmission site earlier, why it's important to keep a transmission site. That's because the transmission site is very close to the country, the target country that you want to broadcast to. For example, BBC has a transmission site in Thailand, so that makes BBC, or they made BBC in 2017, before 2017, easier to gain access to nearby countries, for example, to Myanmar, to North Korea, to all these non-democratic countries, or even to China. So, but unfortunately, in 2017, they shut down the transmitters in Thailand. And so the same thing with Radio Taiwan International. We, with the rise of technology, we cut down our transmissions in some parts of the world, but we still retain and keep our broadcasts in China because we think that it's very important for us to keep broadcasting to mainland China on shortwave. The very important reason is that I'm sure that you know that they blocked your internet access. So sometimes internet access is not easy in China. So which is why we still make use of our shortwave broadcasts. Now, RTI is so important also in a way that we have our transmission site that a lot of people want to rent because we can have like Korean broadcasts maybe to North Korea, to Myanmar, and to China. And now, if you talk about the transformation of shortwave broadcasts with the rise of technologies, now everyone knows that shortwave broadcasting is not that popular. People might turn to internet streaming to podcasting to satellite. Now, and DAB that I mentioned earlier, and even FM or MW relays, but more importantly, radio on cell phone. Everyone has a cell phone, a smartphone today, and which makes radio listening a lot easier. You can download an app and you can listen to any radio broadcasts anytime, any day, anywhere. So international broadcasting related shortwave radio now can even be heard on your cell phone simply just by downloading an app. Another problem with broadcasting, international broadcasting that we face today is the rise of podcasts. And in the very beginning, I'm sure that you know that podcasts start with a lot of hobbies. They like to produce programs, and then now they become the mainstream media. Now, in early 2000s, a new form of audio broadcasting, that's podcasting, like I mentioned earlier, it starts with hobbyists or tech-savvy individuals, and they started to do the podcasting, but now they have become so popular. Also, one popular trend for the media industry is the rise of short-form video. Now, short video, I'm sure that is very popular with a lot of teenagers and youngsters, and also with people under 30 especially. I think it's a new platform to create a 15-minute video, or today a lot of people create the so-called bite-sized video. Bite-sized video means a very short video. Just for example, in early 2020s, Instagram launched the Reels feature, and today on Instagram you can see a lot of people produce the Reels or YouTube Shorts today. And of course, TikTok is widely used by a lot of people, but it is prohibited by public media industries across the globe, not only here in Taiwan, in the US as well. So we live in a now mobile first experiences, and it's one of the driving forces behind the wheel. So short form social video apps like Instagram, like I mentioned earlier, work because, this is a studies that I found that videos that are 15 seconds or shorter are shared 30%, more than those that last between 30 seconds and 1 minute. This source is taken from Jun Group, it's JUN Group. And so we have a look at other sources. For example, I mentioned earlier bite-sized, the small, short videos are now easily digestible. So they're easy to view and very informative, and yet very entertaining. So this is a research commissioned by Snap Incorporation, a very big company that you know, and it revealed that 8 out of 10 people opt for short form video content. So I mentioned earlier, 15 seconds to 30 seconds. Why? To keep themselves posted on current news and to participate in timely conversations. So whatever they watch on a bite-sized video, it can be used as a topic to strike up a conversation. Now, the rise of social media, of course, comes with social media that we mentioned earlier, and RTI has been involved in social media as well, be it Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, which is X now, and Threads, and so on and so forth. So that's what we are doing today, because we try to engage conversations with our audience across the world using the kind of media that they're familiar with, which today I believe, apart from app on the radio is social media as well.